Alright, today we're going to identify the vertex of a quadratic function using vertex form. Right? So what is vertex form? Vertex form of a quadratic equation is f of x equals a, parentheses, x minus h, close parentheses, squared, plus k. hk is your vertex, and x equals h is your axis of symmetry. A determines the width and the direction of the parabola. We know that. We've talked about that. A determines whether your parabola opens up or down. The width is something we'll get to tomorrow in the next lesson. Okay? For the vertex and the axis of symmetry, you have to take the opposite of h and keep the sign of the k. Okay? What does vertex form tell us? Well, it tells us our vertex. Rather than having to find the axis of symmetry and plug back in to find the vertex, I can look at this equation and just find my vertex. Why do we use this form? Again, because vertex form shows us the vertex of a quadratic equation in respect to its parent function. What is the parent function? Well, the parent function is the simplest form of the function. Okay, we'll talk about that more later. But for our lesson today, and especially for tomorrow, you have to know your parent function, your vertex is at your origin, and it opens up. So it's going to look something sort of like this. Okay? Not exact, but something resembling that. Starting at the origin and opening up. Okay? We're going to skip this first little section for now. That's tomorrow's lesson. Okay? So here we go. We're asked to give the vertex in the axis of symmetry and then to graph. Before we can give the vertex, we have to make sure this is in vertex form. Well, recall, vertex form is a, parentheses, x minus h squared plus k. Is this in vertex form? Well, yeah, it's in vertex form. So what is my vertex? Remember, your vertex is h, k, where remember you have to take the opposite of h. So your h says -2. The opposite of that is 2. And your k is +3. So 2, 3 is your vertex. What's your axis of symmetry? Well, your axis of symmetry is x equals 2. Remember, it's the same value, the x value from your vertex. Okay? Now plug your vertex into your table. You know how to do this. We've done this before. 2, 3. 3, 4, 5. We'll use all of our spaces. And 1, 0, and -1. Okay? You take your x values and plug them in. How do you plug them in? Well, quite simple. So in place of x, I'm going to put -1 minus 2 squared plus 3. When I put that into my calculator, I'm going to get an answer of 12. When I plug in 0, I get 7. When I plug in 1, I get 4. And then 4, 7, and 12. Okay? Now to graph. Okay? So I know for my graph, I don't have my line exactly in the right place, so let's move that down a little bit. Right? So let's graph. The first point is at -1, 12. So -1, 12 is clear up here. And then 0, 7. 1, 4. 2, 3. And then they are just flipped on the other side. Okay. Here's my parabola. Draw yourself your line. Don't forget your arrows. Okay. And there's your parabola. Okay. So that's the first one. The second one. Is this in vertex form? Well, sort of, but not really. Can I rewrite it like this? X minus 0 squared minus 4 to make vertex form? Yes, I can. because x minus 0 is still just x squared. Okay, so what is my vertex? My vertex, remember, is hk. Well, what is the h value? It's 0 or negative 0. So 0 and then negative 4. My axis of symmetry, x equals negative 4. Let's plug in my table. 0, negative 4, 1, 2, 3, negative 1, negative 2, negative 3. And then your y values, you plug them in, you should get 5, 0, negative 3, negative 3, 0, and 5. From here, I am now ready to graph. Right? So I have negative 3, 5. Negative 2, 0. Negative 1, 2, 3. Make sure that you plot all of those points. And your graph will look something like this. I hope this lesson has helped you. If you have any questions, please see your math teacher.